How's it going, everyone? I hope you guys are all doing well in this morning or afternoon, evening, whenever it is that you are able to view this lecture. As the class states, as the syllabus states, sorry, we are to have the translation exercise submitted to Blackboard today. Hopefully, you guys are able to go in there, able to find the others' uh, blog post as well as add some of your own. I want you to be looking over your classmates. Um, the reason for that here, I'm actually not going to bring it up, but the reason for that is because remember your task is to try to figure out what song they used. One thing that, by the way, I'm really excited to read all of these. I've been reading a lot of them over ever since they've been coming in, and they've kind of been coming in slowly at first, but now, as usual, they're starting to come in a lot quicker as the due date arrives, or the due time arrives. So I'm liking reading them. I haven't figured out what a lot of the songs are, but I think that's partially because I'm not really sure of some music. I don't really know. I don't listen to the radio and stuff like that. The radio annoys me. Um, but one thing that I noticed and I want to go over with you guys today is that a lot of them are still coming back. They're translations from lyrical to lyrical. So they look what will look like song lyrics in one will just be translated into song lyrics in the other. So it's just a different version of the same genre. Remember the term genre. The different genres mean some are lyrical, some are poetic, some are technical, some are plays, stories, short stories, novels, those types of things. Those are different genres. But for this particular exercise, I want you to be turning your song into technical language and not a poem. Does that mean that those of you who did it in a lyrical style did it incorrectly? I want you to not think about the term incorrect for the duration of this class, and as well as for your careers. There really is no right or wrong. There's effective, and then there's less effective. Um, the reason I'm saying that is that the purpose was to convey certain information. You were trying to convey the song in a way that people could understand what it was. But the problem here is, and maybe this is because, and probably is because I didn't explain it, as well as I should have in the last lecture, even though I do believe I did. But the the goal was to translate it from lyrical to a technical format. And what I'm going to do with you right now, as you can see, there's an accident report form in front of us. This is actually one of your classmates' blog posts that they sent to me. I'm not going to state who it is, but what they did, what this particular student did, and I hope that this person doesn't mind my sharing. What this particular student did was decided, okay, what is the song about? And then given what the song is about, what would be the best types of technical document or the best type of technical document to use for that particular song? This song was about a car crash. I'm not going to tell you what song this is. It's actually in my head now, and it makes me happy because it actually is one of my favorite songs. Song that my parents wouldn't let me listen to when I was a kid. But this particular student did it very well. Since it was about a car crash, they chose to use an accident report form as the method of conveyance. Does that make sense? So look at the top. Let's look right here at the top. One thing that you need to understand with technical writing is that just like in reporting, you want to know certain things right off the bat. You want to know certain information. You want to know who is involved, what happened, what were the variables, what were the conditions, where did it happen, what time did it happen, what date did it happen. You see, this particular person put number of vehicles, date of crash, the time of the crash, whether there was lightning, heavy rain, was there serious injury. Notice that it's written in a very neutral tone. There's nothing graphic about it, but it just states the information contained within. Now, when you're trying to find what song this person gives you certain different hints. For one, where it is. Two, 1962. December 26th, 1962. That's a clue. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to find it, but that's a clue regarding when the song was done. Okay. So, in technical writing, I'm trying to be brief here. In technical writing, you'll notice that the information, the pertinent information, is up at the very top. You have your heading up here. It's very clear. That way, for filing purposes, it's very clear where this goes. It's very clear what type of document this is. Next, all the information is right here at the very top. Okay? You don't embed it anywhere else. It's right there. It's what's called conspicuous. Okay? Now, I'm going to move down here to the accident description. Subject was driving at night with a female passenger. Road conditions were poor due to heavy rain. The car stalled and driver lost control of the vehicle. Notice that it's written in a very neutral tone. There is nothing in there, just like a police officer would do, just as a police officer would do, writes it in a very neutral tone that does not ascribe blame one way or the other. It's written simply as information. The car then swerved to the right and collided with a light pole. The female passenger's side bore the brunt of the impact. One thing that the driver should, not the driver, but the author of this particular document should place and did not place was, where did they get this information? Do you see? Was there witnesses, or were there witnesses that saw this particular event happen? Was it testimony from the person? Where did it come from? And he does get down to it later on, but I'll get to that. Paramedics arrived at 10:40. If you notice, the accident happened at 10:15. They state that the paramedics arrived at 10:40. The time is very clear there. This particular document is something that is ascribed to liability. So for insurance, whether or not a criminal investigation needs to happen, all the information has to be there. Now here, in the song, it's a very, very sad song. It really is. But the way that the song conveys it is that it hears the emotion. It's emotion first. Technical writing has to be completely, or as replete of emotion as you possibly can. Driver was still holding the female victim when police arrived. Mild force had to be used to obtain the body from the driver. Vehicle was destroyed. Do you see that? There's no emotion in that. It's very neutral. So, author, you're listening to this. Good job. Bullet points. No evidence of driving under the influence. Bullet point 2. Title of the car was in father's name. That's not only are those clues to the song, but that's also, they've bullet pointed very pertinent information. Whether or not they were driving impaired, because that's going to be a first question that comes. By the way, don't drink and drive. I know some people that just got in some big trouble, so seriously, don't drink and drive. Or worse could happen. And your state, okay, who is the owner of the car? So that's done. And then the subject statement. The subject statement is from the person involved. And since it is direct testimony, it can be in more emotional language, if that makes sense. Because it has to be verbatim. Okay? Have you guys figured out what song this is yet? It's an older and it's a newer song, if that makes sense. Sung by one of my favorite bands. The newer version, that is. Okay, does that make sense? Remember, who, what, where, what happened. Don't ascribe any blame one way or the other, or ascribe any emotion to it. You have to be neutral. Okay? Now, for those of you who did not um, translate it into this type of form, which I would say is the majority, which I take on me to some degree. Remember, you can revise, okay? And I strongly encourage you to revise. In fact, since this is a graded item, I think you should revise, okay? And um, you have till the end of the semester to get that done. But I would like for you to be revising this. And yeah, so that way you can learn how to identify technical writing and apply technical writing. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm going to be throwing a lot at you in the next couple days, starting right after I post this. So keep an eye out on your Blackboard, and I'm going to be throwing a lot of information at you. By the way, look in the course materials section of your... Is in the course materials? Yeah, course materials section of Blackboard, because within there is a different examples of business plans, of business plan examples. So you can see what they look like, what type of writing they're in. We're coming up really quickly on the next portion of the class, which is your professional portfolio type of stuff. So I want to, that's actually my favorite part of the class. So I want you to begin gathering any items that you have as far as work history, education, educational history, references, that type of stuff. So any pertinent information, and we're also going to be analyzing your field, the field in which you're entering. So if you're going into, I don't know, if you want to be a pilot, then you will be analyzing. Okay, what is that? What how do I get a job in that field? What's the interview process? That type of thing. Okay, so if you didn't do it in a technical format, please revise. I strongly encourage. Well, I require it. But remember, there's no such thing as correct or incorrect. There's just effective and less effective. If you got the information out there and you're able to figure out what it is, then it's effective, but it's not in the correct genre. Does that make sense? Okay. Without further ado, I'm going to sign off of this. All right. Everybody take care, and this is not goodbye because I am going to be throwing out a lot more stuff to you throughout the remainder of the day. All right. Take care for right now.